Welcome back to Living Intentionally. I'm Holly. This episode is reflecting on tolerance. We all have preconceived ideas about others. The word prejudice is to prejudge. Prejudice is preconceived ideas, usually negative judgments or opinions formed about individuals or groups without sufficient knowledge or facts. It usually stems from stereotypes, but we all have the ability to be tolerant. We all have the ability to learn about other people, where they live, or how they dress, or how they think differently than we do. Most of my episodes come from personal experience or observations, and I learn so much from listening to others as they talk about their lives and how they navigate this big, wonderful world. I have a friend from high school who was telling me about her father-in-law's funeral and her observations and judgment of a family member. She told me how her perspective was changed and how her tolerance grew. Her father-in-law's funeral was very well attended. He had many children and grandchildren, and they all came to honor and celebrate their patriarch. He was the head of a very large Irish family. Her father-in-law also belonged to a large Catholic church and had been an active member for many, many years. As with most funerals, there were sad and stressful moments, and everyone grieves differently. So there are many emotions coming together at the funeral of a family member. My friend and her husband were in the back of the church preparing for the Mass to begin. Other family members had taken their seats at the front of the church. One of the nieces and her partner were different from the other cousins. They dressed a little differently, and their hair was green. As my friend and her husband scanned the crowd, they were a little frustrated that the cousin with green hair was in the front row of the church. But the funeral went on with this large Irish family. And as the tears overcame everyone, each family member was lost in their own thoughts and grief. After the funeral, an elderly couple came over to give their condolences to my friend and her husband. They talked about how much they admired the family and how much they would miss their friend. And then they commented on the niece with green hair. They said, "What a wonderful tribute to your father's Irish heritage that your niece and her partner dyed their hair green to celebrate their grandfather." Well, that's a different perspective. There are lessons around us everywhere. Every day we can learn something, even at a funeral. We can learn to be less judgmental and more tolerant. We can learn to worry less about how others will judge us. And we can learn that little things like green hair are just that, very little things. Tolerance isn't easy because it can be difficult to see things from another person's perspective or accept someone else's point of view. Tolerance is a skill that can bring great joy, great peace, and love, but it's a skill that we have to learn. Recognize that no one can make you feel a certain way without your permission. You have the power to choose your reactions. You get to choose if you're going to be angry or judgmental. In many cases, we simply lack tolerance towards others because we simply don't understand them. Ask questions. Be curious. You may not be able to fully understand another person's experiences, but you can shift your perspective. You can learn about others and open your heart to tolerance intentionally. When you don't agree with other person's opinions, focus on respecting their right to think for themselves and to believe what they choose. If you work to develop greater tolerance, you'll find that you are happier. You'll have a greater appreciation for diversity. By learning to be tolerant, you also are teaching tolerance to all those around you, to your children, your spouse, your friends. A little tolerance can go a long way. Don't judge someone on their dress or where they live or the color of their hair. Instead, see them through the eyes of kindness and acceptance and tolerance. Celebrate differences because your frustration about green hair is someone else's celebration of their Irish heritage. It's all just perspective. That's all for now. I hope you're a little lighter. I hope that you have a smile on your face. And until we meet again, live your life intentionally with peace in your heart and reach for joy.